What's up, friends and viewers? Welcome back to another Pokemon rank battle video. Today we're going to be showcasing the lesser known mythical Pokemon that was legalized in Regulation J. That is Keldeo, the fourth musketeer, supposed to be the most talented of them, adopted by the three. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Keldeo, of all of the Pokemon I've tried to make work in competitive play, is the most useless Pokemon. Look at that ability. Keldeo is a special attacker. There's really no other way to build him. His move pool, the best is what you're looking at. I mean, you got Hydro Pump instead of Surf. Those are basically your options. This is a unique move. Scales off the opponent's defense. Justified is the real problem here, okay? His ability is a non-factor. And so I'm going to teach you guys the most effective way to win matches using Keldeo. Let's get straight into it. Okay, as you guys can see, I've been slowly climbing the ladder here. Only played 15 matches so far this season. And I gotta confess, I've been on a bit of a winning streak with this team comp in casual play in the past handful of matches I've played. And I figured out the secret. And I'm going to share that all with you today. Alright, so the key to winning matches with a Keldeo comp, using him as one of your restricted Pokemon, is first, don't select Keldeo. Second, if you do select Keldeo as one of the 4 Pokemon that you're going to use in battle, avoid using him at all costs. Alright, so effectively Keldeo is what you would call a diversion or a kind of a trick here. We're going to use psychological warfare on an opponent. He sees, oh, Keldeo, one of the recently legalized mythical Pokemon. I gotta respond to this. How do I fight Keldeo? And so the opponent is going to be thinking about that right now. What am I going to use against Keldeo? The truth is, we're not going to be using Keldeo because we don't want to lose. Alright, so opponent has Indeedee. That looks like male Indeedee, okay? That's not too common to see. Calyrex Shadow, extremely fast. We have Jin Pao, Cobalion. Okay. What is this? Hufflepuff? I don't remember. It's one of the Harry Potter houses. And Jumpluff, sorry. And Lugia. Alright. Interesting team comp. So I think against Calyrex Shadow, we're definitely going to want to open with Boost, our Pelipper. He's a Tailwind setter, and he's got a little trick up his sleeve. And then Garchomp is very fast. I think we're going to open with him. We're going to try to outspeed this opponent. I think we have him beat except for the Calyrex Shadow. So that is the real problem here. In case we have to deal with Trick Room using Indeedee, let's bring in Porygon so that we can reverse that if necessary. Also, Porygon is that physical wall. I put Porygon and Clodsire on this team. Clodsire is the special wall. Porygon is kind of just the wall, but more so a physical wall. Okay, so it looks like we're dealing with Indeedee Male, who I believe doesn't know Psychic Surge, which is the ability that transforms the terrain to psychic terrain when he enters the battle. Oh, he does. Okay, so we're dealing with Psychic Surge. We could see Psychic used by the opponent's Calyrex. Not really sure. More so, this is probably like a fake out counter. Now, the opponent's Calyrex is either going to start spamming me with Astral Barrage right away, or it's going to go for a nasty plot, maybe do something tricky. He might try to use a helping hand. So will Garchomp survive a Astral Barrage? More than likely, yes. So I think we're just going to go with Tailwind, Sword Dance, and tank it if we have to. Alright, what do we see here? Quick Claw on the Indeedee Male. We're changing the Terra type of the Calyrex most likely. So this is really hit or miss. He's transforming to Fairy. He might be Dazzling Gleaming the Garchomp here, which will probably KO him. It's a helping hand. Is it going to be Astral Barrage or Dazzling Gleam? Probably Dazzling Gleam. Oh, Expanding Force. It's a Psychic Spec. Okay. Oh, and Garchomp goes down. That is not good, ladies and gentlemen. I was really banking on Garchomp surviving that hit. I knew that the Pelipper would survive because it does have the Focus Sash, which is like mandatory on this spec. If I had used Wide Guard there, I would have survived and we wouldn't be having this problem. So that sucks. We lost our sweeper, who is Garchomp. But pretty much I think our opponent is going to be settled in comfortably with his Psychic Surge spam. I think that's kind of his gimmick here. And so we could go for a Thunder, which deals no stab damage to Calyrex, probably will not KO. Or we could go for a Terrestrialized Hydro Pump with 85% accuracy, which will definitely one-shot that Calyrex here. And let's just go big or go home. If this doesn't hit, we're probably going to lose this match. But if he just keeps spamming Expanding Force or Astral Barrage, we are going to block it with Wide Block. Or, excuse me, Wide Guard. So let's see what happens here. It's, I know, pretty awesome that Pelipper can learn Wide Guard. Most people, I think, don't see that coming. Palkia does move first with Hydro Pump, and that should one-hit KO with the Terra Stab plus the Rain. So down goes Calyrex. We have 4 more moves of Tailwind. So there's really nothing on the opponent's team that can outspeed me, except now we're dealing with Trick Room. So I think we're going to have to bring in Porygon on this next turn and reverse that. Probably just ignore the Indeedee because its special defense is very high, more than likely. And then Palkia has quite a dangerous move pool. Should be able to... Oh yeah, we're going to Thunder that Lugia. Unfortunately though, Palkia is going to have to use Protect here, I think. It's just a I don't want him to take damage from Lugia. We can probably two-shot him with Thunder. Let's just do it. I don't think he's going to be able to deal enough damage to my Palkia to really make me reconsider this option. Indeedee's not going to do a lot of damage. Lugia isn't really an attacker. If he or she is going to do a lot of damage, it requires Calm Mind setup. So we'll bring in the Porygon to reverse the Trick Room, and we'll just Thunder down the Lugia. Let's see what it does against my Water type. Dragon Rush. That's a physical hitting move, I think. It did a little more damage than I would like to see, but that is with the Helping Hand. So we can Ice Beam here, or we can just Trick Room. I think Trick Rooming is the safer play, because it's going to give us back our move priority and then force the Indeedee to react to that. So why don't we just Protect on Palkia. Now the first Thunder got negated by Multiscale. Even without the Tailwind, we're still going to have move priority here. So let's just Protect. This Quick Claw is really helping out the Indeedee here, alright? So probably going to see a repeat of the last play there. I don't really care if he Dragon Rushes the Porygon because it's just so tanky. So we're going to reverse the Trick Room and then we'll Thunder the Lugia again. Oh wow, he hit me with Earthquake. And Porygon's going to have to tank that. It does do a lot of damage to the allied Indeedee. Wow. I bet he wasn't hoping for that crit. I think he's trying to sweep me with Lugia right now, which I don't think that's going to go very well for him. So we did lose our Tailwind right there, but the Trick Room was reversed, so we do have move priority, which means unless he pulls that Lugia out, it's going to go down on this turn, I think, because it's going to get hit by 2 100% accuracy moves, the Thunder and the Ice Beam. And if he leaves the Lugia in, which he may not, it's going to go down. Okay, somehow Indeedee is moving before us, even without Trick Room. That's a little bit surprising. And I think actually Lugia is going to survive this Ice Beam. So very tanky Lugia. Nobody wants to deal with this, but we did just paralyze it. Oh man, so close. You know, I've been playing so much Sandstorm. I'm really kind of just expecting that chip damage at the end of every turn. And every time I see a Pokemon like that gets super low on HP, I'm thinking, oh, it's okay, Sandstorm has got this. But sadly, it doesn't. All right, so I think we just keep these two in. We protect on Palkia because he's probably going to try to target down the Palkia again, and Porygon can kind of just whittle away at the enemy's team here. So we don't know what the last pick is for our opponents. Right now this is a pretty close match. Unfortunately, the Garchomp got one shot on the first turn. Wasn't expecting that, although I'm really not surprised. Alright, and we will see the last pick here from our opponent. Who is it going to be? It is Chien-Pao. Alright, Chien-Pao probably going to have the move priority here. So we have two options. We can swap out Palkia and bring in Pelipper and try to set up that Tailwind again, but it's probably not going to happen. Or surprisingly, we can Trick Room here and probably get move priority. So I think maybe we do that. Unless, let's see, what are our other options? We don't have a lot of options here. It doesn't make any sense to bring in Pelipper at this point on a whim. So I think we do as much damage as we can. We just try attack and spatially rend Chien-Pao. Now more than likely Palkia is going to go down here, but I cannot use Protect twice in a row. He sucker punches the Porygon. Not the choice I would have made, because he could have just taken out Palkia right there, who's going to be dealing a lot more damage. That was a bit of a throw, I think. If he did take out the Palkia and I sent in the Pelipper and then had my instant 100% accuracy on Hurricane, I think Chien-Pao would have still moved before the Pelipper, and he may have won the match right there. And now he's definitely not going to win because of that decision right there. Okay, so props to our opponent, Kitco, for really smacking me down on that first turn, but we made a bit of a comeback there without using Keldeo. I hope you guys understand that I'm not trying to clickbait here. This is basically my way of saying that Keldeo is not worth your time if you're trying to win competitive matches. I wish he was, because I think it's really cool that we have these mythical Pokemon that we can play with towards the tail end of Scarlet and Violet. You can see I don't have all of them, but these are most of them that are legal right now in Regulation J. And I've tried to make Keldeo work, I really have. But he honestly is a terrible competitive choice. There are so many low base stat Pokemon that I would rather choose. And you know, he's basically got the same base stats as the Three Musketeer trio, Terrakion, Cobalion, and Virizion. Except it's a special attacker, so its ability justified is literally worthless, and it takes up one of the restricted spots in your team. So I'm not a Pokemon pro, you know, I'm not a world champ or anything like that, but take my advice, don't use Keldeo. Virtually all the serious players know this already, and yeah, if you're gonna put them on your team, just don't use them. All right, thank you guys for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.